basics. Get rid of the chemicals in the house. Change the shower filter. Get the plant-based soaps. Clean the skin, the mucosal membrane, flush the lymphatic system, and focus on the kidneys. It's the same information I send you in your WhatsApp messages. All right. Let me know if you heard that,
Appreciate
Kev.
that. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, all right. Drama, did you get a chance to speak, Drama? Let me know if you wanted to add anything. Also, Kev, some people in the comments got their hand raised. If you can send them an invite for some reason, let them up.
Okay, got you.
All right, so Kev is going to be sending everybody an invite. Y'all are more than welcome to come up. Again, we have a lot of people that's getting healed that's on Clubhouse right now. I'm talking about stage 4 breast cancer healed in 6 weeks, all natural. HIV, 27 days. Diabetes 1, 2 weeks. Diabetes 2, 9 days. Hypothyroidism. It was a nursing mother that had hypothyroidism, right? It took her 10 days to heal from that. The doctors was planning on putting her on pills for the rest of her life. She said this is something that can't be reversed. Well, guess what happened? When she went to the prayer, the fast, the meditation, it reversed on its own, right? Through Mother Nature. All right. What's going on, Patricia? How you doing? Welcome to the stage.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Hey, life is good. We're glad that you came through. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and is there anything you wanted to add to the panel?
I just love anything wellness. I am a woman that's 60 years old, just turned 60, and I just take really good care of myself and very proactive with my own health. And I just accidentally saw this room and decided to come in and see what you guys were all talking about. And so far, I love what I'm hearing.
All right. Well, appreciate you for coming through. We got the brother James in the building too. What's going on, James? Let me know if you're there, James. I see Johnny's coming up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're sending
Yeah,
y'all some
Odin, can I
invites.
ask
Go ahead,
something?
Kev. Go ahead.
Earlier on, you said you were going to talk about parasite cleansing and gut cleansing. So, you just mentioned that it's, a second brain. And I think it's really
Hmm.
important. And I'm just wondering if there's any chance that you can go over what because the best cleansers, because I know that you've got, the cloves and the wormwood and all of that. These are classic gut cleansers and parasite cleansers, more to it. So I just wondered if you could go over that, because earlier on you spoke about how to identify symptoms of parasitic infection. Is that all right?
Absolutely. I'm gonna go over
Thank
that.
you.
So listen, we got to get these creeper crawlers out of our body. So let's talk about signs that we can self-diagnose ourselves if we have parasites. If you go on my Instagram and you scroll out on the pictures, you're gonna see a glove with two parasites in it. One has a fluke worm, one has a tapeworm. This came out of my HIV client that was healed in 27 days. So are you suffering from unexplained constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating, right? Gas and bloating, nausea, or other symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome? You are dealing with parasites. Have you traveled internationally and got diarrhea on your trip? That's parasites. Have you had food poisoning and your digestion has not been the same since? Have you had trouble falling asleep or you wake up multiple times during the night? Is your skin constantly irritating? Have you have unexplained rashes, hives, rosacea, and eczema? Keep in mind, eczema is parasites. It's herpes. It's a parasite that lives in a ganglion nerve called a hemith worm, right? Do you grind your teeth in your sleep? Do you suffer from painful, aching muscle joints or pains? Are you experiencing fatigue, exhaustion, mood changes, depression, or frequent feeling of apathy? You never feel satisfied or full after your meals. Have you been diagnosed with iron deficiency or anemia? Do you constantly crave sweets and snacks? Do you suffer from severe headaches and migraines? Are your eyes constantly itching and watering? Does your anus itch? All these are signs of parasites, and they're often caused by toxins that are released into the bloodstream. So, what are some beneficial things that we can do to get rid of these creeper crawlers out of our body? One, we're going to talk about astringent fruits. So, the fruits you need to be on to get rid of some of these parasitics, one is lemon, you got key limes, you got green apples, you got yellow mangoes, you got seeded grapes, you got papaya, and you have blueberries. Again, that is the lemons, key limes, green apples, yellow mangoes, seeded grapes, papaya, blueberries. Another thing to add to that, give me 1 second. Your papaya seeds you can eat in moderation, probably like a half a teaspoon every 3 or 4 days. If you are a nursing mother, if you're breastfeeding, you cannot consume papaya seeds, you will have a miscarriage. But if you're not breastfeeding, you're not a nursing mother, you can consume the papaya seeds. Go ahead, you got your mic open? Somebody got the mic open. James, brother James, you got your mic open.
I, man, man, how do I turn it off?
Hey, is this James from Bigo Live? I want to see if that's the James, my James. Hey James, say something real quick, James. I
Uh,
think that's the same voice.
yes, 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 yes. It's me, man. I'm trying to figure out how to work this app, man. I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
good, bro, bro. Listen. While you're here, you might as well go ahead and drop your testimonial while you're here.
Um,
Yeah. So real quick,
whew,
James, tell everybody how we met, and go ahead and explain to us your testimonial, and we're gonna jump back into the parasites and the benefits and solutions for parasites. Go ahead.
well, I was really green. I didn't know anything about any holistic healing or anything, and I I met them like four. It's been about 4 years, the beginning of COVID. And I then proceeded to try to reverse my diabetes. I haven't done it, but it's my fault, not theirs. But um, anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But I have in my neuropathy has gone down. I don't. I have veins in my body again from changing my diet. I I've gotten into mental health. I'm a mental health coach. Um, I I am sea moss, burdock root. May I have your attention, please? And I'm at work. I gotta go.
It's
Got
all
a
good.
message.
But y'all heard him right. Neuropathy healed. So he has a lot of things that he healed from, and he's gonna discuss it when he gets some time off of work. So again, that's one testimonial right there for y'all. I'm gonna post another testimonial up top really soon. So again, what are the fruits for parasites? Right, the microscopic eggs. That's parasite so parasites leave microscopic eggs, and then they leave it behind in your body. So again, those are lemons, key limes, green apples, yellow mangoes, seeded grapes, papaya, blueberries, right? Now you have your herbs that's good for parasites. The herbs consist of wormwood leaf. Wormwood leaf, then you have whole cloves. Whole cloves. Then you have black walnut hull, Hull, black walnut hull. And then you have oregano oil, and then you got the papaya seeds. Again, the herbs for parasites will be wormwood leaf, whole cloves, right? You got black walnut hull. You even got parsley. Cilantro is good for heavy metals. You got oregano oil and papaya seeds. Let me know if anybody got any questions on the parasite information.
Respect, respect, respect. Um, Continue with because I was just before I got here. I'm sorry for being late. You sent me the link, but just before I got here, I was just speaking with somebody about being anemic. And can you can you further expound on that? Because I told them some of the same things to start doing. It's what you were just saying. But can you give a actual breakdown of the regimen of what to do and possibly how long to do it?
All right, so now we're digging into the CBC blood chart when it comes to anemic patients. All right, so remember, a lot of the times when you're anemic or your RBC is at a 3.5, you have a flute worm or a pinworm that's eating up the iron phosphate out of the red blood cells. So the white blood cells are producing themselves trying to fight off the parasitic infection. That's what's going on with anemic patients. That's what's going on with leukemia. That's what's going on with sickle cell anemia. It's all the same disease, they just manifest itself differently. If you don't treat anemia, it's going to correlate to leukemia. If you don't treat leukemia, it's going to correlate to sickle cell anemia. So we need iron phosphate. That's the electrical magnetic mineral in our body. Whenever you put iron phosphate in your body, other minerals attach to them. So if a person is anemic, that means that they're iron deficient, right? Oxygen deficient. To produce more oxygen, we need to feed the bones with purple sea moss, with nori, with kelp, with dose, with club moss. This is where you get your zinc, your copper, your gold from. So you need this iron phosphate for your hemoglobin as well to travel in a complete unison or a circuit. So when the hemoglobin is low, you need iron phosphate. The hemoglobin is an iron atom that bonds to any type of hem group. Once the parasite, remember, we're still talking about parasites. Once the parasites eat up all the iron in your body, it breaks off, and then you have sickle cell. Y'all get that? So when the parasite eats up all the iron and it breaks off, and then you have sickle cell. So you see how anemia can turn into leukemia, then it can turn into sickle cell anemia if you don't try to help heal this individual process like fast. All right. So again, if you're dealing with that, we need to get to the purple sea moss, the nori, the kelp, the club moss. We need to get on the astringent fruits that I mentioned earlier. Also the herbs that I mentioned. And again, it would be wise to set up a consultation with me so I can walk through everything step by step if you're dealing with somebody that's dealing with a health issue. I don't know if I answered your question, bro.
Yeah, you did, brother. You did, brother. And can you real quick, like you said, iron phosphate, and you know how when most people have anemia and they go to the physicians, they give them iron pills. Can you explain the difference
Ooh,
between
I'm glad you brought that up.
you hear where I'm
So,
going with this?
yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are the ingredients inside of these iron pills that we get from the doctor's office? What are the ingredients in these things? Let me tell y'all something real quick. They put stearic acid in this stuff. They put titanium dioxide. They put sucrose. Sucrose is the disaccharide sugar that causes nervous system issues, pancreas issues, and vision issues. They put magnesium stearate. They put starch up in it. Why would you put starch in the iron pill? That doesn't make sense. So you're eating nothing but chemicals, and they put a lot of gelatin powder up in there too. So basically, eating pork as well. So this has nothing to do with iron that's inside a lot of these iron pills. So guess where we get iron from? We get iron from vegetables. Is it arugula full of iron phosphate, iron fluorine? Is it bok choy, alfalfa sprout, clover sprout? Is it baby spinach full of iron phosphate? Right? Oh, let's talk about, look, what are the herbs that are high in iron phosphate? Again, what are the herbs that are high in iron phosphate? One is called bugleweed. Bugleweed. Then you have plantain leaf. So bugleweed, plantain leaf, and then you have a herb called lily of the valley. You got lily of the valley, you got bugleweed, you got plantain leaf, you got burdock root, right? So now I'm naming some herbs. So when you create your own herb cabinet, if you're dealing with iron deficiency, these are some great herbs to take. I'm gonna repeat it again. You got plantain leaf, you got burdock root, you got lily of the valley, right? You got damiana. Damiana is a very powerful herb. Hard to find, but got to get your hands on it when you create your own herb cabinet. So we got herbs like that, right? So the powerful blend of burdock root, Indian sarsaparilla, stinging nettle, chaparral, blessed thistle, lemon peel. I'm gonna put all this in the comments so y'all can read it too. That way I won't confuse anybody. So here it is right here in the comments for y'all. I'm gonna type it in that way y'all can have it on y'all deck. There you go. So this powerful blend of burdock root, Indian sarsaparilla, stinging nettle, chaparral, blessed thistle, lemon peel, ginger root, and ashwagandha increases the hemoglobin levels. It's rich in iron, provides insulin, improves gut health, heals anemia, relieves pain associated with inflammation. Y'all see that? Let me know if that answers your question, my brother.
Yeah, brother. I mean, you answering a whole lot of questions, and again, um, for me being in the military and in the medical field for 10 years, and getting into the information with what you are talking about, and then spreading the information to people. And one of the things that you say the most, and the things I always tell people, if you're not willing to totally do a 180 with the information that people are giving you out here with this, then nothing is going to happen. Because that's what people do most of the time. Somebody will come to them, such as yourself, with the information. They'll get the consultations, but they still stay with the same. I don't even like to call it a diet because it's a whole. That's just the way. That's your religion. Uh, like Neela Fuller would say, your religion is anything that you're doing at that moment. So if you're not willing to change that, then nothing's going to happen. You actually, it's going to get worse. Really, it's going to get worse. So that's the thing I try to beat home to people. It's like you really have to change if you really want to heal that problem, and then you don't need to go back. A lot of people change that part and then they go back after they feel like, okay, now I'm okay. And a lot of people go to the doctors, the physicians, the practitioners to get these so-called vitamins which are vital minerals, which they don't tell you that, but you need those minerals and stuff, but they don't come in pill form. They do not come from pills at all. They have a totally different molecular structure. So that's why I asked you the questions, brother, because you're able to put it in a way scientifically but not so scientifically that people need to hear in that way, brother. So yes, you did answer my question.
I definitely appreciate it. And my goal is to relate to people. I hate using big words because it's not that complicated. I just want to break it down simple. Like when I'm discussing how to read a CBC blood chart, biochemistry, neurology, iridology. I want to break it down simple. But if y'all feel like, you know what, I like what he's saying. Do you have mentorship classes? I actually want to learn this information because I want to become a healer. I do have mentorship classes. If you're interested in mentorship classes, all you have to do is message me. All right, I have mentorship classes, I have consultations. I got some people in the chat that's asking about the mentorship classes and the consultations. So just feel free to set it up. I'm off tomorrow. I do have a event to go to tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to squeeze y'all in when I get some free time, and we're gonna go ahead and get it rocking. All right. So yeah, mentorship classes, consultations. I got PDFs. I want to see our people healed from these so-called diseases. Again, I'm in the Father. The Father is within me. He said that you can do all things through Him that strengthens you, and you will do works greater than I. So what's the holdup? Faith without works is dead. We understand that you got faith, but now we got to put in some work. Just like if you can't find a job after you pray, get off your behind and go fill out some applications. Do what you can and let the Most High do the rest. As scary as it might sound, always expect the unexpected. We are living in duality life where we're dealing with principalities, we're dealing with wickedness in all high places, and we're dealing with something called the media matrix and the television that's telling lies. We're dealing with the government that's governing our mental. So if we heal the mind, we heal everything the mind created all through the nervous system. Because the government means to govern the mental. So once we learn that your environment is the key to healing, and this is why they call it mind over matter, because your mind produces matter. Your mind produces what? The pituitary gland produces zinc, copper, and gold. The pineal gland produces serotonin and melatonin. This is your awakening, your sleep patterns. This is the reason why the so-called Negro either sleep too much or he don't sleep at all. We never get the proper amount of rest. We stay up all day, arguing with people, being stressed out over work, stressed out with marriages, stressed out with bills. We are in a stressful environment. So, in order to combat the stress, we have to protect ourselves from EMF and radiation. We have to watch what we are digesting. It's not about the food, it's your lifestyle. You digest the sun, you digest the moon, you digest your family, you digest food. Everything has to do with absorption and digestion. I see somebody had the mic open. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I know, like I said, we was on Bigo, and it just came across my head right now, real quick. Did you get into the information that you found out about the blushwood fruit
Yeah, I'm gonna
yet?
talk about that too. I got you. I'm gonna talk about that
Okay,
next.
yeah.
Makia
McKay,
had a. Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Makia, I see her mic open. Go ahead, Makia.
I had a question. Okay. Um, I one time I was taking Maca, right? I was taking the pills, and I noticed it helped with a lot of things like my depression and things like that. I started feeling more energy. Everything was good, but I noticed health wise that there was mucus. I will always so excuse me everybody for being, kind of nasty, but I will always do number two mucus, right? So I went to my doctor and I told them what happened. So they was like, they set me up to get a colonoscopy. When I got the colonoscopy, the doctor said everything is clear. There's nothing wrong with you. I don't see what you're talking about. And I explained to him what was going on. I told him that I was taking the maca pills and he didn't even know what maca was. So I'm just trying to figure out, is maca a good thing or is it a bad thing? And I seen all this mucus and I'm saying to myself, something about it is bringing the mucus out of me. But is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm just trying to find out.
So I wish you could have hit me up and tell me about you being consuming maca root because we're not supposed to be consuming maca root. Spirulina, golden seal, all of these is on the no-no list. Plus, it might have not even been the maca root. It probably was what you was eating. So give me an example of the things